I told you never to mention that name in my classroom again.
By Lucifer's beard!
Yeah. In your house with Okada. Hey, Okada in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Poppers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, and guys, it is Thursday. And man, what a week of content it has been for In Your House. And it continues because myself and my band of Merry Man, we're creeping, we're crawling, we're coming through your neighborhood to talk some AEW Dynamite. Yeah. And joining me like they do every single week to talk Dynamite is, of course, my guy over there at GWR Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. He's the OG of
Guilty
professional
as
wrestling.
charged.
Tony Gonzalez. What is up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Better talk some AEW.
Yeah, man, we are always glad to have you every single week and on some Sundays too, man. We just had you on the Sunday house party. Hey, that was a fun episode. You guys should most definitely check that out. It's out there now, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we have been killing it with the content this week. And speaking of that, yesterday's episode, real quick, got to give it to y'all out there in the chat. We see y'all out there in the chat. We're definitely going to acknowledge y'all. But yesterday's episode, man, what a banger that was. That was a vibe. Went back and listened to that one. And man, I'm telling you, you guys were on fire. The chat, that is, you guys were on fire. And I wasn't by myself putting that banger together. I did it with the producer of the show on Wednesdays. He's the educator of Extreme, but every day he's the voice. Josh Joseph, what is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? I'm so glad to see some of you return to the madness in which we have built. Glenn, we see you out there. King Bump, thank you for joining us. And
New
you know what,
chatter.
guys? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. You know, people have been talking about us. I know there's been some talks out there of what we're doing in your house out of other circles, people checking in on seeing what we're doing. I know I heard out there getting famous with his content creating, had his little encounter with Matt Riddle, and now he's promoting some jabronis that wanted to smack talk me, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I got to be the villain I've always been born to be. It was fun.
Oh man, I love it. You're out there with my, and it's a badass construction worker, man. He's been in your house chats before. That guy is hilarious. Hopefully gearing up soon for an in your house interview, because I did see his interaction with Riddle. I saw he was out there doing videos with Ben Bishop over there doing. I was like, this dude is just blowing up, and it's fun to see. That dude cracks me up, man. But voice, I gotta tell you, bro, in all seriousness, because we talked about it after yesterday's show. We talked about it this morning. We both listened back. It's available now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yesterday's episode, where we just kind of just went and talked about some topical things in the wrestling world, man, it was a great episode, and mostly because of the household out there in the chat made it an even better episode. Man, what a vibe that was, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yesterday, I mean, OG Tony, you were in the chat too.
Yep.
You know, we just we've hit a vibe with you fans, and you guys have been responding to what we're throwing out there, and we love it. This is exactly the mentality I went in with House when I joined up within your house. Seeing what he was doing out in Vegas with the set and all those different things, and then knowing that, hey man, if I can just prove myself a little bit, he's gonna buy into my insanity and let me just run free. And that's how we get what we got here. And you know, not everybody thinks it, but you know, some people have called
Get
me.
off my ass, dickhole!
Whoa, come on, Randy Marsh. What are you doing, brother?
Man, we love it here, man. We're having
we do.
fun. The chat's been fun. We got the expo coming up. We'll like we have every episode. We'll definitely talk about that probably closer to the end of the episode. But we do have to get into our AEW Dynamite review show. And I got to tell you, gentlemen, I think this week was a lot better than the last couple of outings that they've had. Voice, I know you were particularly fond of this episode, so I'm just gonna go around the panel here. Once again, I thought it was an enjoyable episode. Voice, what was your overall thoughts on this episode of AEW
Jesus
Dynamite?
Christ.
It was purely Mr. Slave. Oh, Jesus Christ. Because they listened to us, guys. Moxley wasn't on our fucking screen at the beginning. We
Oh my
actually
god,
had
I was going to snap, bro. I promise I was gonna snap.
you and me both, and I'm glad we didn't have to. We got to calm the fuck down and watch a great match with
Oh, that
Kevin
opener
Knight.
was so good.
Dude, Kevin Knight, you have proven time and time again, but
Got a fan in me?
dude, I'm a huge fan now, House. Kevin Knight, I heard our Kevin Calloway talking about him for weeks,
Mhm.
and I was catching some of his stuff. But again, you link him up with Speedball, and it's like, you know, principal spinner.
No, I said steamed ham.
Yeah, that's what I think of you, Speedball, you old steam hand trailer park meth dealer. I don't like you. And I think, Kevin, you need to get it as far away from as possible. And last night proved it. I know there's some talks of maybe we're not happy with them taking the trios titles off and putting them into the Callis family. Understandable. We'll get into that later. But I think it's a good move for Kevin Knight. I think this is the best move that they've done for Kevin Knight. I don't think he had a good thing with the trios title and being linked up with Hangman. I think that was a cheap way to get him over quickly, and he didn't need it.
Yeah, I think that what we saw last night with Kevin Knight, and it needs to be highlighted, and I'm sure Tony's going to talk about it as well. Not only did he have an incredible opening match with the champion MJF, I mean, come on, the match was good. He was a pivotal part of the show throughout the night, and then still wrestled in the main event of Dynamite. 2 matches, 2 title matches. And dare I say that even though both those matches he lost, he shined. He shined. I feel like that Kevin Knight's stock is higher than it's been before. And he didn't win nothing last night. He lost in his match against MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He lost in the Trios Championship match and lost his titles against the Don Callis family with Speedball Bailey and Hangman Adam Page due to the shenanigans of MJF, which I thought was a nice touch. I even called that finish. But OG, what do you think, man? Where are you at? What did you think about this particular episode of AEW Dynamite? And give me some of your thoughts on Kevin Knight.
I thought it was a lot better than the last 2 weeks. I
Mhm.
thought the show was a lot better. I mean, I had a couple of little things I didn't care for, which we may get into a little later. But Kevin Knight's doing fantastic. Yeah, there's a big upside with Kevin Knight compared to Speedball Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey's going to stay where he's at. I think Kevin Knight's going to rise. The only thing that worries me, and I hope I don't upset you too much, Josh, is they've already, I don't know if you've seen it, but they announced a trios championship match for
Oh
Revolution.
my God, they did.
And it's they got a new
Kick me
partner.
right in the pussy.
They don't have Hangman as a partner. They got somebody else. I don't remember who it is now.
Mystico.
Mystico is going to be the partner. So
I
hopefully
hate
they
it.
lose.
Yeah,
I hate it.
yeah.
I hate it.
Not fun.
I think Kevin Knight needs to be cut loose, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
Like he has. Oh, they got so. I'm sure we're gonna get into this because we're gonna do love and lows later on in the second half of the show. We'll do our loves and lows. But this is a guy who could be a TNT champion, an international champion, a continental champion, whatever else freaking mid card title they freaking have out there that's unnecessary. He could be any one of those mid card champions. I, I there was once a time, especially watching him on the indies, where I felt like Speedball Mike Bailey had some high upside. But now that I see him on nationally, televised wrestling programs, he just seems like a guy that's like, I don't see it, bro. Like, I do not see it. Him coming there in the weird skinny jeans and the weird green shoes or whatever. And then the one thing that I'm never going to be able to get past is wrestling barefoot with the kick pads. What are you doing, bro? I mean, what are you doing? I'm not going to say nothing about the mullet because that was a choice, but
Good choice.
the barefoot with the kick pads, I can't get over it, bro. I just cannot get over it. Yeah, man, like I hate to be that guy, but like he's the Genetti, bro. Like it is what it is. He's the Genetti. Like Kevin Knight's got it. He's got
And
it.
you're right on that. Kevin Knight's got it, but Speedball could have done things differently. Like when he was waiting for that super kick to MJF, why wasn't he like trying to get the crowd like doing what the Young Bucks do where they're like, oh, something like that. Like
Yeah.
you're missing opportunities, so therefore your 5 minutes are not being used properly, and you need to go back somewhere to learn how to use those minutes properly.
That dude, well, here's the thing about it, and I'm not caping for him or anything like that. I'm just being real because we talk about it on both sides of the coin here In Your House. And I think the thing with Speedball Mike Bailey is that he's predominantly an indie wrestler. I don't think he knows like to play to cameras or to do those cues. Like I don't think he's a television trained wrestler. I think he's an indie wrestler on TV. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. I know exactly what you mean by that.
That's where I'm at, bro. So, all right. Once again, like I said, I think Kevin Knight shined in this, and that was one thing I put in my notes. Is I was like, Kevin Knight high upside. Kevin Knight high upside because I see it, voice. I see it, OG. I do, but let's move on here because this was a night where there was a lot of title action. There was a lot of things going on. And there's a lot to talk about, but let's pivot real quick into some women's action because this was a confusing situation for me. And like I said, we're going to do loves and lows later, but I'm talking about like things that stuck out to me. And then, of course, I'll get your guys' opinion and I'll ask you guys things that stuck out to you. The Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor versus the Inspiration making their AEW Dynamite debut, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay.
You were fired.
This confused me. And it confused me because I'm like, I literally have no clue who's going to win this thing. And whoever loses gets hurt from the loss because you have the Inspiration. If you watch WWE, you remember them as the Iconics, an established tag team not only through WWE before the women's tag team division was ever established, So they were literally there ahead of their time. And then they got released and then they went to the indies, and they've stuck together since the indies and went from the iconics to the inspirations. And I think they're a great tag team, great characters, decent in the ring, marketable. You can sell them. This is their Dynamite debut. Now, on the flip side of that, you have the Brawling Birds. And if you've been watching Collision, you know that they've been slowly trying to establish the Brawling Birds and make them into a possible future threat for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Keeping them away from, the Babes of Wrath. I'm sure that interaction is going to come, but right now the Brawling Birds are doing their thing over here. So you have a tag team that is literally making their Wednesday night television debut, and a team that's still building and isn't fully established. I just don't feel like there was any scenario in this booking that was going to make one team look good, but the other team not look bad. I didn't understand the booking at all. So I don't know if that was something that stuck out to you guys. Voice, let me get some of your thoughts on it and then give me something that stuck out to you.
Well, I'll give you my thoughts on both tag teams in this match.
You are a toy!
That's all these women are right now for for AEW as a whole, man. Like, that was not impressive at all. That I'm sorry, but that I was expecting so much more when I seen that match on the card. And oh my gosh. I was so happy to have these women be announced that they're coming to AEW, the Iconics. That's what I'm calling them, because that's when I loved them. And now I'm not happy. But it's the
They
first.
literally did a job.
But like, I expected so much more, and I don't know. I guess I built it up too much in my head, and it kind of just threw it all for a loop. So I don't want to be too negative on it. So I'll say maybe next Dynamite, maybe next appearance they have, we'll have a different result and a different outcome of them as a representation as a tag team.
Yeah, I just think that since this is where you decided to go, first off, because one thing, and my son said this too. He said, "Oh, and at least to him, he was like, oh, the inspiration's definitely going over. They got the entrance, they already have merch on their shop, like, and they're making their Dynamite debut. They're definitely winning." And I told him, like, literally, I was like, hold on, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure because they've been building the Brawling Birds through Collision mainly. So if you pay attention to Collision, you know the Brawling Birds been kind of picking up wins, but they're still in the infancy of their tag team. So you have two tag teams that are newer to the brand, and you put them up against each other, and one's got to beat the other, and both teams will get hurt from a loss.
Yeah.
I don't understand the booking at all. So that's just my mindset from it. You got to start. The inspiration's got to start stacking wins on Collision or something like that, because you got to build them back up if you're putting money into them. This is a proven tag team. Nothing against the Brawling Birds, but they do not have the established chemistry that the inspiration has. So I don't know. It was a weird booking decision to me. We'll get OG's thoughts on it too. But first, Voice, what was something on this show for you that particularly stuck out?
For me, that particularly stuck out was the fact that some of the guys that they've been relying heavily on for the past month, maybe 3 weeks, they weren't the heavy feature. Like you spoke earlier of Kevin Knight having a big night, and he did. He had a huge night. Hangman Page had a squash match
Yeah.
with a guy, and he cut a decent promo that built on the rest of the night, that built up for Kevin Knight. Even Swerve and Brody King Like, there's so many things that I love about AEW, but so many things I don't like
Mm-hmm.
in different aspects. And I think they're doing great. But yeah, what I loved about this specific collision was it seemed like the stories weren't mushed together. There was time to breathe in between each one they were trying to deliver and sell.
Mm-hmm.
And the main point of that night was getting MJF even more heat if that's possible, and then kind of watching Hangman's world kind of unravel as around him. If I'm mistaken, light me up. That's okay. But that's what I'm starting to see. So that's what I'm liking, that there's an evolution happening in the storylines and it's not muddying it up like we've been noticing for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I felt the flow of this show felt better. It felt a
Yeah.
lot better. I liked the double title main event that they were. We got two main events tonight, both title matches. I was like, okay. And then another thing is that the trios championship match was not announced. That match wasn't announced. It was set that night. I like that. When you can tell me a story in one night, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a good thing. Sometimes we think of stories and we think, oh, they got to drag out weeks and weeks, months and months. But sometimes we forget, sometimes within the realm of one show, you can tell a story. Oh my gosh, Salvador.
Yeah, dude, I had to bring this up.
Pin him.
This is wild.
Pin it.
Oh, Salvador, you are getting pinned. And then he followed it up with, and
Man,
you know
Brody,
what? I was sitting here and thinking it would be kind of crazy if he
Bro.
swung for the fences on the other side.
That would be nuts. That would be nuts. That'd be a whole, oh my God. And here's the thing, like, even seeing Brody eh, last night, I'm like, you still got something with him. You still have
Oh
something
yeah.
with him that if you cultivate it, this guy could still be an AEW world champion, I believe, because it's still there. You just got to strike on it. But let's get to OG. Let's get some of his thoughts. I wanted to get some of your thoughts, your opinions on that Brawling Birds and Inspiration tag team match, because I'm just interested to hear what you think. And then also give me something from the show that stuck out to you.
Okay, the Brawling Birds thing, I thought they were going to win the match because of Osprey's wife is in the Brawling Birds.
Mm,
So I kind of figured they were going to win the match. The Inspiration, I think, it's a bad fit for AEW, guys.
you
I,
think
I don't
so?
think I don't think they're a fit. I think they're a better fit in WWE, but I don't think WWE is interested. And I think they'd have been a better fit in TNA, but TNA don't pay. So they went to AEW, and I don't think they care what they do because they'll get paid.
True, true. I agree. I agree with the fact that I think they would hit better in WWE because they're entertainers. Like that's the biggest thing about those two ladies. I'm not saying they have bad work rate or anything like that. That's not, but the strength that they possess, like their superpower, is their ability to entertain and make you feel something, laughing. Maybe they do some dastardly deeds or something like that. If they're heels, they're good at that, and they're good at annoying you as well. So, like, I think there's a lot of different lanes that they could play. But now that you're mentioning it, OG, I think you got a point, man, because they're entertainers and there's some times where AEW will kind of lean on sports entertainment, but I think at its core, it's always going to be sports based, high octane in ring competition. And you just got to realize that, yeah, if you're going to be there just to collect a check, that's cool. But if you are an entertainer and they're not seeing the vision, we already seen it with Danhausen. If they're not seeing the vision, then you're going to be held down creatively. So it is what it is with that. But OG, let me get something from the show that stuck out to you.
I agree with you guys. I thought the show flowed a lot better. There was only one section of the show that I didn't care for, and that was the Inspiration match being a squash, and then right after it having another squash match. So I
Yeah.
was hanging So I thought that was a little bit
Weird.
weird to have two squash matches right next to each other. But I didn't have like I said, the show was pretty good. The wrestling on the show was good. I didn't think it was as strong as what it was 5-6 weeks ago, but I
Yeah,
thought it's back on track because the last couple of weeks had been kind of down. I like Brody King. I'm still just worried. I'm afraid that Swerve's going to kill him at this
yeah.
pay per view and really going to hurt him. So I worry about that. Love Thekla. Yeah, all in all, I didn't have any big complaints on the show. I've got one low, and when we get to that,
Sure.
we'll,
Sure,
we'll
we'll,
get
we'll
to that.
definitely get to it, and I'll say this because we're about to take our break, then we'll come back and we'll go around and do our loves and lows. I didn't even hate the placement of the Moxley match. I didn't. I thought he was.
Let me make it short and sweet. What I'm telling you is I want a piece of Mike Tyson's ass.
Well, I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about John Moxley.
Okay, yeah. I was confused when you said him.
but I didn't hate the placement of his match. It wasn't even that bad of a match. It just the dudes. I think we just got to come to the fact that the dude will wrestle 365 days if you let him. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll wrestle every day. Like, dude lives in the ring, and I respect it, but at the same time, I still want him to go away. So it is what it is with that. But listen, we have still got some other things to talk about. When it comes to AEW Dynamite, man, we've got to talk about Swerve. We've got to talk about Brody King. We have to talk about the fact that MJF did exactly what I thought that he would do, and that's cost the championships, the trios championships, out of spite for Adam Page. I am worried about that, though. I'll tell you exactly why on the other side of this break.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where I YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where I YH live.
In your house with Okada. Hey, Okada, in your house. Hollywood.
Emerge faithful, we're coming out to Emerge 91 Blood and Bone. Since 2019, I have been the executive producer of the In Your House podcast. Since 2021, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. The honor and the privilege to tell all of you, right here in the middle of this ring, that Emerge Wrestling, in collaboration with the In Your House Network, will be at the Squared Circle Expo this March in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Emerge Wrestling in your house. We'll see you in March.
Hey, Okada, in your house. Hollywood, in your house.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakon the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, the AEW Dynamite review show, and I am kicking it with OG Tony Gonzalez and the voice Josh Joseph, and we are talking Dynamite, more specifically the March 4th, 2026 episode. And listen, man, I've been running around all day, work, running kids here and there, getting that old man nap in. But I don't know if I'd be able to do all that running that I need to do if it wasn't for goalie nutrition. I keep that focus with the Matcha Mind gummies. I'm able to keep that energy rolling with the apple cider vinegar gummies, and you can get your wellness journey going too. All you got to do is go to goalie.com and we can help you out. Enter promo code IYH for a 10% discount and let them know that In Your House sent you. And check out everything we're doing on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, and then on demand, the audio version on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Earlier this week, we were charting on the Apple Podcast American charts as high as 149, one of the top 150 wrestling podcasts on Apple Podcasts, and we look to continue to do that with your guys' continued support. So we're going to continue this episode of the AEW Dynamite Review Show. We're doing one thing that we've done quite a bit on the show, and that's our loves and loathes. And listen, we'll go around. We'll change it up. I'm going to start with OG here, man. Give me a love and give me a loathe.
Okay. The love is a little hard for me because there's two or three things that
Sure.
I'm going to go with Thekla. I really enjoy her. I just she's different than anybody else out there right now.
Yep.
I really like what she's doing. Didn't think Thunder Rosa did too bad last night. She's not what she used to be. She's been. I listened to her. She was on Busted Open a lot, and I listened to her a lot. She's been through a lot. She's got a divorce. Her father passed away, so she's been through a lot in the last year or so. So
Yeah.
I think that's affected her some. Probably not in the shape she was in, a couple years ago. But it was good to see her, and she was in front of her Texas crowd, so that was pretty good. She was working the crowd pretty good. So, but yeah, Thekla stood out to me, and my low is going to be John Moxley. Not his performance last night, because I thought the match was fine. I liked the match. I just don't understand why he needs a title.
I don't either, man.
Of anybody on the roster that don't need a title, he would have to be at the top of the list.
Yeah,
because because he could carry a storyline. They could put him in a storyline, and he could carry it. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why he needs a group. I still think they had money with the group turning on him. I think that could have been a massive story for them.
Yeah, they let that roll. They let that just float away.
Yeah, but wasn't what he wanted to do, I guess. But yeah, Moxley just he's on the TV so much, and I think he needs to go away for a while, which we've talked about. And just him having the title is just overkill for me. When you look at the really top heavy, I think they're trying with star power. I mean, you look who got their titles right now; they're trying with star power. I don't know if it's hitting for him or not. I guess we'll see. But yeah, Moxley for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely I feel like Moxley is like a loathe every weekend on this program. So it is what it. But I totally understand where you're coming from. Voice.
One other thing, real quick.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
David Finlay. How he was. I mean, he comes in again. We bring guys in, and we don't know nothing about them. It hits flat unless you're just a huge big fan of David Finlay and New Japan. Or then and not everybody is. Not everybody that watched that show is a huge fan of New Japan.
Right.
Maybe a good round of them, but yeah, let us know what's going on. Who is this guy? Why is he there? I mean, I didn't think they did a very good job with that.
No, I agree with that. I know that was news, but honestly, like I was kind of like that was at a time where I was like, okay, let me check some emails, let me scroll a little bit, or at that point. So when it had happened, I kind of had to look up, and I'm like, oh, David Finley. But it wasn't like you said, I didn't feel anything. It was like when they brought in the lady with Megan Bain. I can't remember it. That's the problem though. They brought her in and it was weird bringing her in and we're like what are we doing here? And it's kind of the same thing with David Finley. Unfortunately, I think that's a stable that might quickly get lost in the shuffle. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I could see it happening. Voice, give me a love, give me a loathe.
Well, again, I'm gonna love the opening match. And I tweeted it to Tony.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
how you start a Dynamite show. That's how you get it going because
Yeah.
that was energy. That was, to me, if you wouldn't have kicked it off with that match and those two wouldn't have done exactly what they did in the ring, the rest of that night's not hitting. So not only is Kevin Knight newer to the scene of being on television in this capacity and having to carry storylines, and everything he does is being critiqued now because it's on a platform in which they're the second biggest wrestling company. Like it really proves to the point that some of your talent is worthy of trusting and some of your talent you might want to pull back your fandom on
Yeah.
because it's working in certain aspects. And that again is going to go into my loathe. My loathe is the fact that we're still in the state of AEW where we can see a lot of the booking as fantasy booking from Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Case in point, David Finley. Why didn't you have such an array of talent? Why didn't you take one of your top name guys? And I'm going to just use Kyle Fletcher. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you take Kyle Fletcher and have him go against David Finley over in New Japan and hype up that match a couple weeks before that David Finley comes in to AEW? And that way that you're cross promoting, you're doing all those things, you're experiencing, you're allowing your audience to experience a whole different realm of wrestling in which a guy came from, in which if you do like what you see, you're going to tap into more of what he did instead of just throwing him into the middle of it and being like, well, fans, what do you think? And it's like, well, you didn't give us anything to go off to think. He came out, surprised, beat down, boom. Now he's in a faction. I mean, I credit Tony Khan and the commentary team. They tried to advance his the excitement for his debut, but again, only we are hearing that. The audience there's not hearing it, and we're going off their reaction. So I still think there's a few missteps that are happening. I mean, even with the inspiration, we already talked about that, but
Mm-hmm.
just those debuts, they don't hit for AEW for some reason, and then everybody gets kind of up in arms about it, and then it all seems to die down. And I don't think that's fair to the talent making a splash and trying to make a name for themselves over here.
We, for years, as a fan base, gave WWE all sorts of hell for taking a big name NXT talent, calling them up to the main roster, and immediately fucking it up.
Yeah.
Literally, it was one of the running gags of the IWC that if anybody were to get called up, well, say goodbye to their push. They were good in WWE, or they were good in NXT, but it could never translate. Once they get up, once Vince gets a hold of them, it's a wrap. That was always the narrative. But here we are now with AEW, and we have these top tier indie talents getting signed, and then we're announcing, hey, they got a contract. That's awesome. And then we're not doing shit with them. I didn't even say the Rascals wasn't on Dynamite. Didn't they just sign a contract a few weeks ago? That's what I thought.
I mean, they've been getting collision spots.
Which that's fine.
This
That's
is your
fine.
staple show. Like,
You're signing, like, I see all these insert name is All Elite, and the more I see these, the more I'm like, you are just signing all these guys, and there's not enough television time to go around. Daniel Garcia said it best. You have all these talents, and then you have all these talents, 2 shows, and all these titles. Which, that's just a great. I'm gonna start with my lows, and that's all these damn titles.
Yeah.
Why we don't need them? We don't need all these titles. We don't need an international championship. We don't need a continental championship. We don't need a TNT championship. If you're gonna have one of those, pick one. Pick one of those 3 to be your television championship, and get rid of it. We don't need it. We don't need it. You got international champion Ricochet. You got continental champion John Moxley. You got TNT champion. You got TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. Is he the is what's Okada? Is he the international champion?
He's international.
So
Rick said,
what is
national.
Ricochet?
National.
Why? Why? That's
I'm
like
a county champion.
That's 4 different mid-card titles. What are we even doing?
And they don't mean anything.
They mean nothing. The one with the most prestige out of the ones I just named is the TNT Championship, because it goes back to the conception of the company.
Yep.
That's the one right there. The other one, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we
The other ones are hardly ever defended. The TNT's at least the TNT's defended.
Yeah. I don't understand why we need all of this. I mean, all Daniel Garcia.
Merry-go-round belts. I like it, Daniel.
I just don't understand. That's definitely my low. Another low, I'm just adding another one. Honestly, the FTR Young Buck feud, I just don't care. I just don't care. I mean, they pile drove their brother. They got into it in the crowd with their parents, and still, I just don't care. Like, seriously, like, these 2 teams, the match is going to be great. It's going to be great. I guarantee the match is going to be great.
Yeah.
But with the fact that these 2 teams have done this again and 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 again, they could be wrestling in my backyard and I wouldn't even open up the shades, because I just don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't know.
Hold on, I'll check.
I don't care. No, you can keep checking. I still don't care. I still don't care. But obviously, a love for me, Kevin Knight. Already gushed about him. But also, like, the involvement of MJF through the show. I enjoyed that. When MJF's on my TV, I'm paying attention. You know, he comes. He had his match. Great match. Retained the championship. Started some smoke with Cowboy, and later on, came out again during Cowboy's match and was like, hey, if you I could just beat your ass, whatever you want to, if you want to do it. And then of course we have the Don Callis family who ends up getting involved, and that leads to the main event for the night, which once again MJF has a hand in by costing them the championship. I just thought MJF, you have him involved throughout the night, tell that story of the night where he's costing them the championships, just getting underneath Hangman's skin just a little bit more. I like it, man. I enjoy MJF's involvement on the show. But yeah, as far as some of that other stuff, I just don't care.
No, I get you on that, man. It's getting to a point. Like I'm a huge FTR and Young Bucks fan, and I'm there with you, man. Especially once I heard them talk about even more of the Young Bucks family is going to be in LA. I was like, why? So they can get their asses kicked? Like, are you trying to
Right.
make this like a family tree event?
Yeah, what's
FTR
going
is
on?
not one to fuck with. But like you said, the match is going to be great. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be fun. There's going to be amazing moments. But why are we not caring? Why have you pushed us to that point? Because it's not us. It's the way you're putting out your shows, and you're putting this stuff in our faces and expecting us to consume it. It's getting tiresome.
Yeah. Yeah. I got no interest in seeing those two teams have a feud again. And I mean, it is what it is. I think like Revolution is building up to be a real good show, but I can tell there's going to be some stuff on there that I'm just not going. And I'll probably still watch it. Honestly, I might just still watch Young Bucks and FTR just to watch a good tag team match, and
Yeah.
maybe I just won't. I'll have to take the fact that I don't care about the fact that these two teams have fought a million times and they're trying to add more nuanced story to it by adding the family. I don't care. They're just going to wrestle. They're going to have a great match. Titles are going to be on the line like they've always been. It's just tag team supremacy between the two top tag teams in the in the division. I don't know if I needed all the extra stuff to get us there, but the match is going to be great. So, yeah, I thought this was a pretty decent episode of Dynamite. We'll do what we do every week, go around and we'll go do the star system and see what we think. For me personally, once again, thought it was a good show. There was some missteps in there though, so I always got to be fair. To me, the show was a solid 7.5 out of 10. Once again, enjoyed it, thought it was good. That once again, thought it had some missteps there with the brawling birds and inspiration confusion, and then the two squash matches back to back, like Tony had said. I just didn't. And then John Moxley was there, so that always takes off a star. But once again, good outing, good pacing of the show. I enjoyed the Tommaso Ciampa segment right before the main event. I like the fact that we're doing interviews ringside or out there on the
Love
ramp.
that.
Very, very WCW Nitro-esque. I enjoy it. But voice, give me your rating. What are you giving this episode of Dynamite?
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.2. I think they're definitely up from previous weeks. There was a few missteps, but again, that opening match, the way you kicked off this Dynamite and kept it going, and I know despite the squash matches and things like that, you guys had a good flow. I enjoyed it, it's making me want to watch next week. So
Yep.
you did what you were supposed to.
Yep. I'm with you, man. I'm in for next week, and I'm in for Kevin Knight. I mean, I'm in for Kevin Knight. Before I give it to OG here, I did want to once again. We only talked a little bit about it, but Brody King, I still think this guy has potential to be a top guy, and it's a lot of things that you can do. But also, I wanted to say, because before I went to the break, I said I was worried about the fact that Hangman and him lost the trios championships. The reason I'm worried about it is because I'm afraid that they're about to put the AEW world title on Hangman and I don't want to see that right now. I definitely don't. But OG, what do you got, man? What were your thoughts on the show as far as star rating? What'd you think?
Uh, I kind of agree with you. I think about 7.5.
Yeah.
I couldn't get to an 8, but I thought 7 was too low, so I just split the difference.
Yeah.
I thought it was some good wrestling. I think Revolution's going to be a good wrestling pay per view. I'm not really sold on a lot of the stories. A couple stories there that I'm interested in, but that's the thing about the AEW. If you're just talking about wrestling, you're going to see a good wrestling pay per view. I mean, you're going to see good
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
Maybe too many matches, 12, 13
Yeah.
matches,
Oh yeah.
but it'll be good in the ring. But I just wish they had a few more stories. But hey, we're early in the year. They got some time to build.
They do. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we're gonna see where it goes. Just because I think that they and you guys have said it, and I agree. I think they're back on track, man. I think they're back on track. Now you have to keep. All you got to do is continue the consistency. Let the stories flow. Me and Voice talked about this just yesterday. When you let these superstars be themselves at the highest at the highest level, let them be themselves, you're going to win. You are going to win. So let them be themselves. Let Swerve. I don't know what this tough guy thing is that Swerve is doing, but get that shit out of here and do something else. Swerve is too good to be sitting over here some brooding, bro, you are not Blade, bro. This is not Blade over here, bro. You're not a brooding badass. You're a swaggy, cool. If you want to have that evolution, hit him with the suits, bro. Do something like that. But this whole I'm the most dangerous man in AEW, and I want you to think I'm Batman or Spawn or something like that, some sort of anti-hero. Pack that up, bro. I'm not buying it. I'm not here for it. That shit's lame. That shit's weak. You're not Batman. You're not Spawn. You're not some anti-hero. That shit's weak. So that's just my mindset on it. But what was not weak is this episode of In Your House. It never is when I am hanging out with these guys here and discussing wrestling, man, because that's just what I love to do with these guys. I look forward to it every single episode that we get to do this. It's fun. I enjoy it. And because they give me their time, I got to give it to OG here to let us know where they can catch him at and everything he's doing.
Yeah, we'll be on the air here just a little bit at 8 o'clock with uh, Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk. And then at 10 o'clock, I have back to just Gonzo Sports Room. We'll be talking all kinds of different sports tonight at 10 o'clock. And we had a big meeting yesterday. We got some new shows coming in April, every Sunday, and starting in April. I believe they said 7 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll find out for sure. But we're going to do an independent wrestling show that's going to have 3 or 4 matches on it. We've got about 200 shows in our vault, and
Oh wow.
we're gonna put matches every week on Sundays, and then once a month on Wednesdays we're going to do a spotlight, a wrestler spotlight show where we're going to have a wrestler come on as a guest, and we're going to watch some of their matches, and talk about them. So that's a new thing we're doing. So yeah, we got some new shows coming, some new ideas, and got some big stuff coming maybe in September, October. That when we get closer, I'll talk about that too. So we're having a lot of fun.
Hey,
Had a good meeting last night, so I think we're moving in a good direction.
good, man. That's what we like to hear. That is exactly what we like to hear. And having fun is what it's all about. If you're not having fun, this is not supposed to be work. Work is work. I mean, this could this could be work, but it's supposed to be a fun kind of work. And
Yep.
I enjoy doing it. And I usually do it here with my man over here. You can catch him on many shows here in the In Your House network. And that's the producer of the show, the voice, Josh Joseph. Where can they catch you and everything you're doing?
All right, fans. So if you enjoyed this and you want to catch a little more of it, come back on next Thursday at 6 p.m. when me, OG Tony, and Howse go back at it with another AEW Dynamite recap show. It's going to be fun, and we invite you to come and hang out with us, especially you, Daniel Garcia. We love you, brother. Thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
hanging out with us all show. outside of that, fans, if you want to tiptoe your way and talk a little Monday Night Raw, well, that's on a Tuesday, and that's with me and the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Galloway. Sorry, man. I'm getting a little tongue-tied there. Kevin Galloway, he is our Chaos Goblin, and he is he's a gem. We love that dude. He's got some great insights, and he's an in-ring professional, and he knows what he's talking about. So come join me and Kevin at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday when we talk Monday Night Raw. Fans, are you ready for it? I know I'm always ready for it. I go my days thinking of how can I throw this folding chair at that person walking by me, Sabu. And, that's my days, but I hold back because I'm an adult. But on Wednesdays, you can get extreme with me and Howse when we watch ECW. Yes, we are part of the rivalry series, and fans, we've talked about it, and we had to, pivot this week, but we are bringing you the next rivalry, Tommy Dreamer and Just Incredible. And fans, like I said last night, it's still a touchy subject because Tommy had the championship. It was his. And Just Incredible did what Just Incredible does, but we're going to talk about it. We bring it to you in a book format where we break it down chapter by chapter and we let you know, and then hopefully it entices you to go check it out and watch their matches. So fans, that is on Wednesday. It's at 6 p.m. and it's our extreme moment for the week within your house on the ECW Watch Along series with The Voice and Howse.
Yes, it is a great time. And then, of course, we have the Sunday house party where we get anybody in the household who's available and we talk about the week in wrestling. We'll talk about PLEs. We finished up on the content creator series, so go check those out. Man, it's Sunday. Sunday is a really fun day when we all get together. And the Sunday house party is awesome, man. And it's all part of the work, and that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So for the OG of pro wrestling, Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room and Gonzo Wrestling Room, and the producer of the show, The Voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Holocon the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Dynamite, 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 dynamite.